Okay, everybody, it's time, and we have named this project. It's called Project Maxed Out. So here we go. Let's get started. We got everything unpacked, except for a couple of things. Let's go over all the parts that are involved and how much work we have. It's just kind of a daunting task, but hey, we rebuilt a big old boat, so I guess we can do this. We'll start with going over all the parts. Once again, to recap, if you're watching this video for the first time, we're taking a 2006 GMC Duramax, Sierra Duramax, crew cab, 2500, 3/4 ton, and we're going to put a 6-inch lift on it, 35-inch tires, 20-inch rims, fender flares, the whole 9 yards, and we're going to eventually be doing leather, but it's going to be 8 to 10 weeks for that special order. So let's go over all the parts we're going to be working on. It is Friday afternoon. It's raining like cats and dogs outside, so we're not messing with it this afternoon. We just wanted to get everything kind of organized and put it into its spot, and then tomorrow we're going to hit it full tilt and see if we can knock it out in one day. So let's go look at the parts we have. Well, here's all the suspension parts, and that's all the big stuff. All the little stuff is over on my workbench that we've organized, and I'll tell you more about that here in a second. The lift I chose was the Zone Products 6-inch lift. I had kind of researched Rancho and all the different models out there, and I settled on this one for a couple of reasons. First of all, the price. It is very inexpensive. $12.95 with shocks, $11.75 without shocks, or $11.50, I forget, around that area. And it gives you, from what I understand, it is a BDS system, or BDI, I forget who it is, but it's their entry-level system, and it's designed for lifted street trucks, and that's kind of what we're going for, is a lifted street truck. However, I've got some complaints so far, right as it comes out of the box. And I know you get what you pay for, but however, this is things that could have been done very easily to kind of make sure that they're okay. First is packing. The packing was atrocious. You see this box right there? That box held both of the steering knuckles. Each one of those knuckles weighs about 40 to 50 pounds apiece, and we have some damage to each one of the ball joint attachment points, which needs to be smooth so it doesn't tear the ball joint boot. So we're going to have to kind of hammer that down. And you see all the impact points on the skid plate. It just looks unattractive. I mean, you're buying something brand new and you're getting this stuff. Now, because I'm a member of a forum, I was able to get free shipping, so I wonder if that's what it is. They just kind of threw it together. I have no idea. But anyway, that's the issue that I have with it so far, is that the packing was terrible. And that's not from UPS just throwing it around. Seriously, you can't put the stuff sitting normally in a box like that and expect it not to have a problem. The second little complaint, this is the only other thing, is these are the CV spacers. Normally, from all the other kits that I've noticed, these are aluminum. These are an injected, they told me this is like a resin that's it's a 2-part type resin put into a mold. I mean, honestly, it kind of feels like plastic to me, but they've assured me that that's not what this is. This is actually a resin product, which it's designed to keep the corrosion down, which the aluminum products were having. I'm not sure if that's 100% true or not. However, if these break, I will go back to them and have some issues because I will be using my truck off-road. But anyway, so we're going to go ahead and put these on, but I just don't know how these could be very strong at all, but apparently they are. They're engineered and they guarantee them, so we shall see. But the whole kit, this is a 6-inch kit. It is basically, from what I've read, and I'm not 100% sure on this, this is a 4.5-inch drop, which means it drops the pumpkin and everything down 4.5 inches, and then you get the other 2 to 2.5 inches from this knuckle drop, which it drops everything down. So I'm not sure on those numbers 100%, but that's kind of where they are. With these type of kits, you have a couple of different choices. You have a drop torsion bar and you have a tuck torsion bar. And some of the kits actually will put the torsion bar inside the frame, and others have them hanging down below. I like the torsion bars hanging down below because I think they make the truck look tough. However, if you're trying to get extra ground clearance, you definitely want to have those tucked up underneath the frame. But those are going to be more expensive. So with this, we're just doing a standard torsion bar drop. It drops everything down, super easy, simple, inexpensive. Also, the rear suspension in this lift uses blocks. You see those guys sitting right here? These are 5-inch blocks. Those are monsters. Now, what I'm gonna probably end up doing is doing Deaver leaf springs, which are, you can buy them with a 6-inch lift. The lift blocks, they're great for just a standard street truck, but if you're doing like heavy duty jumping around and all that kind of stuff like that, you really don't want to use a block. But for right now, to get us started, yes, this will work fine, and as soon as budget allows, we're gonna put some Deaver leaf springs on there. But those things, I forget how much they cost, but they just were not in the budget right now. We have a weld-in patch, which we're going to have to go into a little bit later. We do have to do a little bit of welding on this, and we have to do some cutting, which is a little bit nerve-wracking. So here are the rest of the parts. They come in individual baggies, and the baggies are numbered. You can see here, below here, there's a baggie that says Bolt Pack 577. I've read through the instructions on this thing a couple of times before this came in, and it's very important to keep these separated per bag, because they'll tell you, in bag number 577, please pull this bolt out. Now, my dad and I went through all of these and we counted everything to make sure it was 100%, and it's dead on. However, half of these bolts were inside the boxes out because of the packing. They banged up against everything. They came open and they kind of just were all over the place. So it took us about an hour to kind of get this all set up. However, see how I kind of drew spots here? I tend to get going really fast and I get lost and I'll mess things up. So I just want to make sure I keep everything fully organized, and we just went through every single one and made sure it was absolutely perfect. So, got instructions here, which is about the size of a small novel, and we've got all the bolts that we need, and they also include a little bit of this 3M Scotch weld, which is thread locker. We'll probably use our other thread locker that I've always been using. I like it a lot better. But everything is laid out, and that's one main thing you need to make sure of, is that you have everything laid out perfectly. And of course, I've got an air compressor with impact wrenches and everything else that will help us assemble this a lot easier. However, standard hand tools and a breaker bar will get it done, a little bit of elbow grease, but I'm going to cheat and use some air tools. So that's the suspension lift, and if you remember correctly, I told you there's some other stuff going on here, so let's go over that now. You may recognize these shocks from a video a few months ago where we put the same type of shocks on the truck. However, with the 6-inch lift, we've got to add longer shocks. So I spent another $500 on new Bilstein shocks. These are the 5100 series, and I'm totally sold on these. I mean, I know there's others out there, like the Rancho 9000s, probably equally good shock, but I love my Bilsteins. They just made the truck ride so nice. The only thing we're missing here is a steering stabilizer. I ordered a steering stabilizer also from Bilstein, and it did not come in. It should be here on Monday, but that's not a time critical part. Now, the only other thing we're going to tackle this weekend is the Bushwacker fender flares, and they're still in the box. So we're going to unbox them together and look at them. All right, here we go. These are the rears, and I feel like a kid at Christmas, because these are the prettiest things. Oh, these are the fronts, I'm sorry. And these are the Bushwacker pocket style. So what these do is these have rivets that go along here. Now, looks like it's got a little bit of shipping damage in it. These are kind of designed to be painted. And so what I'm thinking of doing, and I had this idea last night, is I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint these with bed liner and make them kind of a rugged look, and they'll give them that, I don't know, that kind of a weird textured color to it, which I think Duplicolor and Rust-Oleum have a set of each. I think it'll look a whole lot better than just leaving it as is. So I think that we're going to put that on the to-do list, because there's a little bit of shipping damage right here. I wonder where the rivets are. I guess they're in here somewhere. Yeah, I see a pack down there. Yeah, we're going to definitely need to do something. What we'll do is we'll sand these up nice, and then I'll go get some of that undercoating or bed liner that you can spray. We'll just hang them up in here and spray them on real nice, make them look good. There's two. Let's see what this is. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, so this is the rubber coating that goes up against the paint. Yeah, and then all the little screws are inside here. So that's kind of nice. What they do is they allow you to paint it first and then put the stuff on so you don't have to tape it off. So we're going to put this over with our pack of stuff, and then we're going to take out the back ones and see how they look. Wow, these things look a million times better than stock. Which, by the way, I'm going to put my stock ones up on eBay if anybody's interested. Yeah, those look good. Not a whole lot of plastic for 400 something bucks. There's all of them. We'll get there we go. So here's all our. Do you have that Sharpie on you by chance? You know what? It looks like it's the same thing.
Right there. There's
Kit number 24. Here we go. I'm going to say this is the back. Alright guys, that's everything for right now. I'll see you tomorrow because we're going to get started bright and early and get this thing torn apart. Right now I'm going to dinner, I'm going to have a couple of drinks, and I'm going to try to sleep good tonight, although I'm excited as dickens, man. See you guys in the morning.